All right, great. So let's get going. Good to see you, Sister Winsome.
Thank you.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about 10 steps to a healthy weight. 10 steps to a healthy weight. Weight, all right? And before we do, we need to do our little in-house. So there are two things I want to say to you. Thing number one is get some paper and a writing instrument. Take notes because the shortest pencil is longer than the longest memory. And the second thing is to stay away from the five worst words in the world. And the five worst words in the world is, I've heard that before. Those words create closed-mindedness instead of open-mindedness. There are also two promises I'd like to make to you. Promise number one, you will learn something today that you can use right away. You will learn something today that you can use right away. Promise number two, I'm available to work with you further should you see the need to do so. Let's go through our disclaimer. The information provided in this presentation is intended for general, excuse me, informational purposes only and should not be considered as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. As a naturopathic doctor, I am sharing insights and suggestions based on my expertise in natural health and wellness. However, it's important to consult with a medical doctor before making any significant changes to your health regimen, especially if you have underlying medical conditions, you are taking medications, or you may have specific health concerns. All right, so again, we said today we're looking at 10 steps to a healthy weight. And before I go into the presentation, let me also add or remind us that next Thursday, God willing, I will be out of the country. We're going on our health mission trip to the Twin Islands of Trinidad and Tobago. And so we'll be leaving on next Wednesday. And so next Thursday, I will be in Tobago, and I intend to have the presentation from there, God willing. Those of you who have not yet given us your name and phone number to be added to our WhatsApp group, you wanted to put it in the chat today. And so any updates or information about the presentations and other things on health, we normally put in our WhatsApp group. So do give us your name and phone number if you want to be a part of that to keep up to date. Of course, if you are able to make any kind of donations towards our mission trip, we are asking for between $5 to $10 to donate. That will help take care of our flight, all four of us, and also to get medical equipment and other things to take with us to serve the people on the Twin Island. All right. So if we would define healthy weight, we would think of two things. First of all, your body mass index, and your body mass index is a measure of your body fat based on your height and your weight. So you can go and Google body mass index or BMI, body mass index, and you'll put in your weight and your height, and it will give you what your body mass index is, right? So it's a measure, excuse me, of body fat based on your weight and your height. So a healthy weight typically falls within a certain range of the body mass index or the BMI. You also want to look at the circumference of your waist, right? Uh, your waist circumference can also indicate health risks, as an excess abdominal fat is associated with increased health risks. For men, it can be a problem with diabetes. For women, There'll also be diabetes, but also cancer. All right. So you want to be careful with our waist circumference and our body mass index, right? So obesity is becoming an epidemic in much of the world today, all right? But and being fat is not healthful. I see that there are a number of singers or actors coming out now and trying to say, well, hey, you don't have to be slender, and nobody's saying you should be the size of a lamp, right? But being fat, being overweight, is not being healthy, right? It's not at all. So today I want to talk about how to use 10 practical steps to achieve and maintain a healthy weight. So excess weight impairs your health and it also shortens your life. Excess weight impairs your health and shortens your life. As little as 10 to 15 pounds. And if you're in a country that uses the meters, that's about 5 to 7 kilograms, right? As little as 10, excuse me, to 15 pounds of extra weight can lay the foundation for many of today's degenerative diseases. And excuse me, I'm getting a little flu bug. I have some onions on my chest taking care of that. So if I cough, you know why, but by tomorrow, God willing, it should be gone. Also, for every 10 pounds, 5 kilograms of weight, your lifespan may be shortened as much as by a year. All right. So let me try to repeat that. Excess weight impairs your health and shortens your life. As little as 10 to 15 pounds, 5 to 7 kilograms of extra weight can lay the foundation for many of today's degenerative diseases. And for every extra 10 pounds of weight, your lifespan may be shortened by as much as 1 year. All right. In other words, every extra 10 pounds you take off, you increase your likelihood of longevity. So the question becomes, why are we getting so big? Why are we getting so big? I think even in the West Indies, where I grew up long ago, I didn't know many people who were fat because we ate from the ground. We ate provision, green bananas, dasheen, Edos, all those nice, healthy stuff. And we played outside. The worst thing for us as children was to tell us to go inside or go to your bed, go to your room, because we wanted to play outside. Yes, we'd watch 1 or 2 TV shows, but the fun was outside in the sun, the fresh air, playing cricket, playing marbles in the dirt, making your own little scooter on the road. I mean, we were active and healthy, right? But right now, it's sad to say that even in my country, when I go there to see so many people that are now obese and getting bigger and bigger and bigger, right? So why are we getting so big? That's the question. According to the World Health Organization, the WHO, the WHO, the key to the problem lies in the ever more widespread sedentary lifestyle and a diet overrich in calories and fat. And for those of us who have been here all through, probably about 2 or 3 months ago, we covered the idea of sitting. Sitting is the new cigarette, right? The similar diseases that you would get as a smoker, you now get if your lifestyle is too sedentary, you're sitting too much. And yes, getting a desk, a stand desk is better, but it's not much difference. The idea is even if you're standing, you want to be moving. right? That's the key to keep moving. So obesity increases the risk of several things, right? So all of the degenerative diseases are often related to your lifestyle, and obesity greatly increases the risk of many diseases, such as diabetes, right? My mother died at the age of 57 from diabetes. My eldest sister died at the age of 47 as a result of diabetes. This thing is real. It's one of the reasons that kind of propelled me in this direction, despite the other things that I do, to try to help not only myself but others from these degenerative diseases, right? Like diabetes. You also have hypertension or high blood pressure, high cholesterol, coronary heart disease, and stroke, right? These are all degenerative diseases that can be avoided if we follow a particular lifestyle. And the opposite is also true, right? Also, you have gallbladder disease. See the gallbladder hanging out here, and your gallbladder is sits right under your liver. It's very important to your body. Cancer, osteoarthritis, and back pain. All of these also come with a risk of being obese. There are also psychological and social issues, right? Diseases are only one side of the story. Overweight people often suffer major social and psychological problems. And Dr. St. Bryce is a psychologist, so I know he would agree with me on this. All right, a lot of people are depressed, they don't want to go out, uh, they don't like the way they look, people are laughing at them, they have lost friends, whatever it is, and they begin to stay in the house in the dark. They think nobody likes them, they'll never find a mate, and the list goes on and on and on and on. Uh, there's also depression, low self-esteem, and social isolation. And the rapid increase of eating disorders, especially among young people, is really, really scary. Yeah. So a lot of us, we are inundated when you go to your grocery store, or you go on YouTube or somewhere else online. We are inundated with all kinds of advice about how to lose weight. But the question becomes, who can we really believe, right? There's so much noise out there of different things to do. Who can we really believe? And people who are overweight, desperate, they're struggling, they're discouraged, and they're grasping at almost any straw. Some people go on diets, and as soon as they come off the diet, they lose the weight, and then they put on the weight again. All right. So we know that dieting per se is not the best answer. Most new diets work for a while, but 90%, 90% of dieters will regain their lost weight. Do you know within what time period? Anybody can guess?
About 6 months or so.
You're close, you're close, you're close. A little bit longer, a little bit longer.
In about a year.
That's correct. You're on the money, Sister English. You're on the money, right? Most new diets will work for. That's why every year, a lot of people who have lost weight the year before, they have a New Year's resolution to lose weight. Now, let me suggest to you that psychologically, that is might not be the best way to say it, because whatever you tell your mind begins to work for you. So you have to follow the acronym of SMART, right? You got to make, excuse me, Make your goals specific, measurable, and you'll figure out the rest. And instead of saying, I want to lose weight this year, you want to be specific and say, I want to lose 60 pounds this year. Now you can measure that because there are 12 months in the year. And if you plan to lose 5 pounds per month, that's more realistic, right? Anybody agree with me?
Yes.
Yeah. If your goal is
Yes.
5 pounds per week, that's 1 pound and a little 1.25 pounds per week, 5 pounds per month. That's doable. And now you can track it, right? Because most diets will work for a while, but 90% of the dieters within a year will regain the weight, and it becomes harder to lose the weight when it comes back. It comes back with a vengeance. It's like a long lost friend. I missed you, right? But of course, there are no shortcuts. There are no magic pills. We just need to adopt a healthier way to lose weight, ways that will last.
May I speak?
Sure, go right ahead.
And when we do that yo-yo diet, it's harder to lose the weight the second and the third and the fourth time around
That's
because
correct.
the body is seeing this as an attack on itself.
That's correct. And not only that, some people who want to exercise, they skip breakfast, right? And they think they got their exercise for the morning. They skip breakfast. When you skip breakfast, your body thinks you're going in a starvation mode, like what Mr. English was just talking about, and it develops what is called fat cells. It stores fat to protect you. So when you go on a diet, it does the same thing. And when you come off of that diet, your body just it's like a jack in the box, or like some women who should be wearing size 12 or they're wearing size 8. I want to take off the clothes, everything that spring out. That will happen with us in our bodies, right? It might sound funny, but it's not. This is real. We are spending money on diet programs, but we don't. What's the first three letters in diet? What word does that spell?
Die.
Die.
Yeah, and
Dead.
the T could be for today or tomorrow, right? There are several people who have died using diets because they want to fit in their wedding dress, or they want to go to their school class reunion, and they want to look good, and they go on a diet. God didn't, God gave us a diet, which is a lifestyle, but we shouldn't be going on diets. All right. So here are 10 safe and proven principles that not only will bring down the pounds, but will reward you with a healthier, happier life as well. Are you ready for it? Are you ready? Are you ready? I hope you're writing it down. Number one, don't go on a diet. Instead, change your eating habits permanently, because dieting is just a temporary interruption to your normal eating habits, the very ones that may have caused a weight problem in the first place. So you don't need a new diet. All right. So instead of a diet, you need a new dietary lifestyle, a new dietary lifestyle. And in our H.E.A.L Lifestyle Academy, that's what we do with our clients. Put you on a new dietary lifestyle, all right? Don't just go on a diet. All right, number two, eat a good breakfast, right? Eat a good breakfast. Some of us eat breakfast, but we leave out the adjective of good, right? We need a good breakfast. Your breakfast should be the heaviest meal of the day. And if you are on a 2-meal diet, which is the best diet scientifically and otherwise, your breakfast should be the heaviest meal. It should include nuts, probably some grains, some fruit. Fruit is the grains and nuts are like the only foods that fruit will digest together with. All right. So you want to get a good breakfast because a good breakfast
Please
boosts.
repeat that.
I'm sorry.
Please repeat that.
I am not sure what part. Are you talking about the combination of the fruits?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was saying that nuts and grains are the only foods that really go with fruit. If you eat fruit with other foods, your body would stop digesting the food and go after the fruit because fruit takes a very short time to digest. And that food stays and rots in your stomach, right? So you should only eat fruit on an empty stomach if you're eating other foods. If you're eating grains and nuts, the fruit will balance off with that, no problem, all right? So a good breakfast boosts your energy. It also increases your attention span and it heightens your sense of well-being. A lot of parents who are ignorant to the fact that they don't know better, they are sending their children to school or before they leave home to eating a cereal, a dry cereal with milk and honey, or a sweet cereal with milk and honey. And that gives the child a boost of energy for a while. And then they crash. So they go to school and they misbehave, and it becomes a habit. And especially for little black boys, they put them on Ritalin and say they have ADHD, and that just makes things worse. All right. One of the things you want to know with a breakfast, science has shown that most people who get a heart attack do so on a Monday morning because all weekend they've been stressing about going back to work on Monday. They think about the stress in the traffic, the stress on the job. They don't like the boss doesn't like them, the colleagues don't like them, so they're stressed out and they don't have breakfast. When you awake in the morning, your blood is sweet and sluggish, right? That's why we recommend to our clients first thing in the morning, you want to drink 2 cups or a glass of warm water, not hot, but a little higher than room temperature with some lemon in it and probably some salt, one of the good salts, right? To kind of melt that thick blood. So a lot of people going to work and the blood is thick. When they wake up, they don't exercise, they don't stretch. And if piece of that thick blood breaks off and goes to the artery, that can cause a blockage and a heart attack. And it's the same for you. If you don't have breakfast to break the fast from the night before, your chest feels tight, you feel bloated because you haven't broken the fast. But you need a good breakfast to boost your energy, increase your attention span, and to heighten your sense of well being. If you eat a too sweet breakfast, yes, you'll get a boost of energy, but it will decrease your attention span, right? Because milk, and there's a lot of us don't use non-dairy milk. When you mix dairy milk and sugar, it creates alcohol in your body, right? And when you drink alcohol, you know what happens? You get drunk. Okay? All right. So number one was what again? Anybody remember number one?
Do not go on a diet.
Do not go. Oh, my big sister Lynn. Hey, baby, nice to have you. Yeah, don't go on a diet. Number two, oops, sorry. Number two, eat a good breakfast, a good breakfast. Now, studies have now linked eating a healthy breakfast to less chronic disease, longer life, better health. Children who eat a good breakfast often do better in school. All right. Okay. So we were talking about jump starting your day with a whole grain cereal, whole grain toast, and a couple of servings of fresh fruits. And of course, if you're eating the bread, you want to eat the fruit first. If you have bread with the breakfast, your energy level will be high all morning, right? Because the body is getting what it needs and what it can easily digest and transform into energy. We eat food so we get energy, right? Food is not just about what you like, but what is good for you, what God has made for you to get energy to do what you need to do for God. Number three, break the snack habit. So what that means is if you're going to have a snack, a healthy snack, have it with the meal, right? So right after your meal, you have your healthy snack. What we're talking about here is eating your breakfast or your lunch, whatever you're eating, and about 2 hours later you're feeling hungry and you grab a snack, right? So there are a number of things why we will want to discourage that idea, right? The first thing is when you eat a meal, if you're eating carbohydrates, the digestion process begins in your mouth. Your tongue and the roof of your mouth secretes certain enzymes that is supposed to mix with the carbohydrates as you chew it into a mush, and it goes down your esophagus into your stomach where it continues to be digested. It takes about an hour and a half for the hydrochloric acid to get into your stomach to begin to digest what you've just ingested. If you eat within 2 hours, let's say, something else, you now have stopped the process that just started half an hour ago of digestion, and your body now begins to digest the new food, whether it's a grain of nuts, whatever it is. And the other food stays there and sours. You get gas coming from both ends of the body. You get bloating, you may even get constipation, and this can lead to cancer, right? It can lead to a lot of uh, gut problems, gut issues that you don't want to get, all right? So, and then besides that, the calories that you get from snacking can add up to an extra meal. The calories that you get from snacking can add up to an extra meal, and a big one of that, right? So one study showed Western women tended to snack 400 to 500 calories per day. 400 to 500 calories per day. At the rate of 500 calories per day, 7 days a week, that totals into 3,500 calories, right? That means that it's possible to gain 1 pound per week. Remember before in our scenario to lose weight, we were saying if you have a goal to lose 60 pounds for the year, that's 5 pounds per month. That's about a pound and a quarter per week. With snacking, you are not trying to reach your goal. You're moving away from your goal because you're putting on an extra pound per week. So by the end of the year, there are 52 weeks in a year. You may put on 52 pounds. Yeah, an extra pound a week on snacks alone. Forget the other foods you might be eating, just snacks. And so many people are able to control their weight just by kicking the snack habit. If you eat adequate meals that are high in complex carbohydrates and fiber, you will be able to have a steady energy level that you need to make from one meal to the next. In addition to that, many times we do not properly masticate or chew our food until it becomes a pulp. Some of us inhale our food like a vacuum. Some of us, our teeth can't remember the last time it tasted the food that we put in our mouths because we have to wolf it down. That creates indigestion. And afterwards, because the food cannot, the food is not properly masticated to get the enzyme that the body wants, the body sends you a signal saying, I am still hungry. Or you eat what is called junk food, which, according to my friend Elder Isaac, junk food is not food, it's just junk, right? Processed stuff. And your body's saying, hey, I am still hungry. And most times, if that's the case, and it's after an hour and a half, you could drink some water and that would kind of help you to feel satiated. But then you go and you eat something else, and most times it's more junk, and you see the vicious cycle that can come about. All right. Number 4, eat mainly unrefined and unprocessed whole plant foods. Eat mainly unrefined and unprocessed whole plant foods. In other words, build your diet around fruits, vegetables, grains, legumes, and other natural foods because they are high in fiber. They are low in dangerous types of fat, and it will fill you up with less calories. All right? Well, a lot of fibrous foods. The U.S. Department of Agriculture's 2005 dietary guidelines no longer recommend servings, but instead cups. So for most people, 2 cups of fruit and 3 cups of vegetables daily is the minimum, with the slogan, more is better. More is better. Of course, if you are have been diagnosed as diabetic by your doctor, then you want to be careful with the sweeter fruits, the amount that you partake. But you need fruits, whether you're diabetic or not, you need fruits. So instead of eating 10 mangoes, you may eat 1, right? Instead of eating 8 grapes, you may eat 4 at one meal, but you need the fruits. They also recommend eating of beans and whole grains every day. They have even more fiber than vegetables and fruits, all right? Beans and whole grains have more fiber than vegetables and fruits. Unrefined foods such as olives, corn, and sesame seeds do provide fat without getting in excess amounts. And it is so easily done when using oil. Sugar, as found in fruits, is not nearly so concentrated as refined sugar, which is used in cooking or making candy and cookies and what have you. Whole wheat bread, if you contrast it with white flour bread, brown rice, right? So long ago, we ate only whole wheat stuff. These days, you have to be careful because a lot of what they're calling whole wheat in the stores, it might be whole, but there's no wheat in it. It's mostly molasses and other processed chemicals in there. So it might be better to make your own bread if you buy the wheat flour from a reputable place and make your own bread, right? But that is the whole wheat bread or the whole grain bread is better than the white flour. The brown rice is better than the white rice, right? There's some examples. So not everything that's white is right. All right. Everybody get my point. So refining of foods, when foods are refined, right, they concentrate on more calories. And you'd have to eat a lot of ears of corn to get as many calories as in 1 tablespoon of oil. All right? 1 tablespoon of oil, you would have to eat a lot of ears of corn to get the same amount of calories as 1 tablespoon of oil. 1 peach provides about 30 to 40 calories, but when it's consumed in the form of canned peaches in sugar water, 2 halves. Two of the peach halves will provide 90 calories. Right? Big difference, big difference, big difference. Number 5, reduce oils, butters, dressings, and other fats. I think probably about 3 or 4 months ago, we gave you a recipe to make butter, to make cheese, and some other things. If you didn't get it, check out our YouTube channel, H.E.A.L Lifestyle Academy. It should be there. If you still don't find it there, shoot me a text at the end of the presentation. You'll get my contact information. Shoot me a text, and we'll get it to you. All right. But reduced oils, butters, dressings, and other fats. My wife makes a really, really delicious salad dressing. Right. Little water, salt, some other little seasonings. Man, I think it's really, really good. All right. So you want to avoid meats that are high in fat. Of course, as a naturopathic doctor, as a plant-based person myself, I would say stay away from the meat, but that's your choice. Because you'll say, well, the Bible says I can eat clean meat. And some people say, well, Christ ate fish and all that good stuff, right? He also walked everywhere he went, but you want to drive. But that's another story, all right? Uh, but right now, science is catching up with what we are told that there's a direct link between cancer and meat, especially red meat, and dairy products. Direct link. All right. But if you eat meat, avoid meats high in fat, cholesterol, um, cooking and salad oils. You want to avoid those. Sauces, dressings, and shortening. All of these are high in calories and they have no fiber at all. Use spreads and nuts sparingly, right? Talking about the peanuts, right? Very fattening. Use that sparingly. Avoid frying. Uh, a lot of us like fried foods. I mean, I got to stay away from fried foods. Growing up, we had what we call fried bakes and doubles and all that stuff. You want to be kind of use that sparingly. But the frying is very dangerous because the oil, when the oil is heated up to a certain temperature, it gives off what we call free radicals, and you inhale that, and those go into your body and begin to your cells, damage your cells from the free radicals from the oil. Be very careful. Try to bake instead or get one of those air fryers and stuff like that. All right. So avoid frying. You can saute instead with a little water in a non-stick pan. If you don't have a non-stick pan and you have one of those hard pots, if you cut up your onions and your sweet peppers, right? Put a little bit of water in the pan, they will begin to produce their own oil naturally, right? Natural oil, all right? So avoid the frying, saute instead with little water in a non-stick pan, and try new low-fat, easy-to-prepare recipes. Number 6, drink water, right? Now, some of us, we think this means we get the 16-ounce water bottle and we sip that all day, right? That's not what we're talking about. We gave you the recipe some months ago for drinking water. It is half of your body weight in ounces, right? Divided by 8. So, for example, if you weigh 100 and 140, less than 160 pounds, what is half of 160?
80.
80, right? So if you divide 80 by 8 for an 8-ounce glass, you get 10. So if you're weighing 160 pounds, your minimum amount of water for the day is 10 cups of water. And if you take the normal 16-ounce water bottle, that's 2 cups. So you need about 5 of those for the day. That's if you don't over perspire, because we lose water when we inhale, exhale, go to the toilet, when we talk, when we sleep, we keep losing water, right? And our bodies don't manufacture water, so we got to keep it hydrated. All right. Our bodies consist, this number should be like 70, around 70% of water. Water is necessary for almost every function of your body. And so you need to be aware that your body's needs of your body and provide for those needs. Often feelings of tiredness and hunger, like we said before, in reality is thirst messages. We are really thirsty, not really hungry, right, or tired. This recommendation is for women in particular, and it should be 9. It's going up to 9. The average woman should drink at least 9 glasses of water. And of course, you still want to go with the formula we give you, right? Most people don't drink enough water, and that causes a lot of problems. If your body is constantly dehydrated, it will give off what is called histamine, which is really inflammation because it thinks something is happening to you. It wants to protect you, and that inflammation can lead to a number of different diseases, right? So you want to stay from soft drinks, beer, coffee. A lot of Christians drink coffee. It's dangerous for you. The only good use of coffee is to use it from the other end, all right, to clean you out. Tea with caffeine, other beverages, drink water. So that means that we are getting a lot of calories, but not much nutrition from drinking the soda and the coffee, all that kind of stuff. Drinking calorie-loaded beverages is one sure recipe of gaining weight. I remember growing up, we had an ad on TV, a roti and a cold solo, right? What a combination, right? You have all of this acid in this soft drink, all this sugar and coloring, and you're eating a hot roti and you're drinking down this cold beverage at the same time, washing away all the enzymes from your mouth, so the food is not probably digested. It's cold, so that the food will take longer in your stomach before the body warms up again. We have to be so careful and praise God for His grace and mercy over us when we don't know. But when we do know, we need to do better. All right. So we're saying switch to water. It is this. Oops, sorry. Switch to water. Uh, it is the slender person's drink of choice, right? Water also helps you to lose weight. When you have the urge to eat between meals, drink water. Often we think we are hungry and we eat when in reality, like I said before, we may not have a thirsty feeling, but the body is in need of water. Number seven, coming to the end. Number 7, exercise daily. And we're not talking about jumping to conclusions, right? That's not good exercise. I talk about moving the body. So a regular exercise program will help you to lose weight by boosting your metabolism and strengthening your muscles. It also increases your energy and endurance, and it lifts your spirit, right? So exercise is a high yield investment, and the best form of exercise, if you're able, is to walk. Walk and swing your arms upward with your shoulders up, your head back, and you're walking and you're inhaling the clean air, right? That's one of the best exercises out there. So especially after your meals, if you're diabetic and also if you want to lose weight, after each meal, it is best not to linger around the kitchen. Take a short walk, even if you're at home on one spot, you're walking in one spot for about 20 minutes, right? Take short walks after your meals. It aids in digestion and it helps to keep a positive attitude because you're getting, when you move, all of the neurotransmitters, the dopamine, serotonin, they're all moving to give you that good feeling. You have to move, right? And the sunlight hitting your skin along with the cortisol in your body triggers vitamin D, right? There's a lot of good benefits you're getting at the same time. And the goal, if you want to lose weight especially, is to walk at least 30 minutes a day, right? Now, check this out. If you eat 2 meals a day and you walk for about 20 minutes after each meal, you have already passed this goal. All right. But for general fitness, you want to do the 30 minutes a day. But if you want to lose weight, do an hour a day. And you don't have to do the hour at one time. Right? You do 20 minutes in the morning when you just get up, 20 minutes after your breakfast, 20 minutes after your second meal. That's an hour. All right? Do an hour a day to lose weight. You can do gardening, brisk walking, swimming, cycling. But again, the walking is the best exercise because all of your muscles in your body are being worked at the same time. I know some of us here may not use these things. Of course, people on YouTube, when they see this, they mightn't be as good Christian as you are, but you may also have friends and family, right? Using these harmful substances. Don't allow harmful substances into your body like alcohol, tobacco, caffeine, and unnecessary drugs, right? These are addictive. They're expensive substances that either add calories to your body that's already overburdened or increase your risk of illness. I can tell you a scientific fact that there are hundreds of chemicals in one cigarette. And even though you might not smoke and you're around family and friends or coworkers that smoke, and you get that secondhand smoke, that's worse than the person smoking, right? Much worse, right? The beer and the coffee, all those things are very dangerous to you, and science is now talking about it. Number nine. Eat 3 regular meals daily, and we have changed this to 2. If you want to lose weight, if you are a construction worker, yeah, you might need 3 meals. Or you're an athlete of some sort, you might need 3 meals. But the best way is to eat less calories. That's science. And the best way to do that is have 2 meals a day. 2 meals a day. If you're going to have a third meal and you want to lose weight or reverse diabetes, your last meal should be at 3 o'clock in the evening, 3 o'clock, right? To give your body about 18 hours to rest and to fast, to aid with the healing process, all right? So eating 2 regular meals a day, about 5 to 6 hours apart. It takes about 5 hours for the food for your meal to properly digest and 1 hour for your body to rest before the next meal, right? With no snacks in between. We said before, a bigger breakfast and a noon meal with a smaller meal at night will promote better sleep and give the stomach a good rest. Studies have now shown that calories eaten in late afternoon or evening stay with you more than calories eaten earlier in the day. So in the evening, we are generally less active and we don't need more food and more calories. Some people find that fasting from food for a day every week or so may also be beneficial. All right. Trust me, you would not die. You would not die. The last one, number 10, the most important, trust in God for help. Courage and faith in the healing power of God is of the greatest importance. Most of us lack what it takes to always choose the best foods or eat them in the right quantity. And our loving Lord is yearning to assist us in gaining the victory over yourself. So if you claim the promises in the Bible, it's with the assurance that mighty things will be accomplished. One text comes to mind, Jeremiah 33:3, right? Where God says, call upon me and I will answer you and show you great and mighty things you don't know, right? Call upon God, Jeremiah 33:3, and he will direct you. And please remember that sedentary work television, computers, the internet, and the easy availability of high calories are creating not only obese adults, but also super fat children. And these children are pre-exposed to a host of related illnesses as well as serious psychological patterns. Excuse me. So set a good example, right? Good health is a family affair. And let me close with this text, Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So you could put your name, Anthony can lose weight through Christ who strengthens me, right? That's giving God's word back to him. Philippians chapter 4, verse 6 and 7, right? Be anxious for nothing, but by prayer and supplication. Supplication is where you plead to God using his words back to him. I can lose weight through Christ strengthening me, right? And it calls for trust, right? So God bless you as you claim this promise and shift your focus from weight to good health and to living the 10 principles of weight control. 10 principles of weight control. All right, so that's the end of our presentation. We want to thank you for coming to spend time with us this evening. We are praying that we added value to you in some way. And here's our contact information, our email address, our website, our YouTube channel, our phone number, where you can call us if you need our services. All right, so are there any questions or comments? If not, we could end right here.
I need to lose at least 90 pounds. Prayer alone is not going to get it off, I know. So I need your help big time to get rid of the 90 pounds that I have to lose because I'm facing another surgery.
Okay, well, we have given you 10 principles to start you off, and you could divide that 90 pounds over the span of a year, over 6 months, depending on how fast you want to lose it, and then bring it down to a week. You know, you need to lose a week, bring it down to the 5 days of the week that you are free besides the weekend or 7 days, and then you get a number what to aim for.
Yeah, and
All right?
I'm going to have to work on that because I have
Okay.
CKD, stage 3.
Okay.
So we have to be careful how we move with that too.
Oh yeah, definitely.